For those of you watching, I'm doing a live soul rebirth journey here with Julian, who's ready to go through a superb energetic enhancement. So I'm just going to say that. Watch part one. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be split. It's almost like this is supposed to be split in two videos. So I'm just going to do that because I'm ready to start doing the energy work on you. I was already doing energy work in the first part, but it was programming work. It was altering your programming about who and what you are. It alters everybody's program who watches that video. It's altering everybody's program who watches that video. Everybody receives a reprogramming gift. I believe in you, Julian. I will not tolerate you seeing yourself as this, as your worth and value. Somehow you were manipulated along the way to feel as though this was you. I see a small girl in this space with a really weird, creepy hum energy and the water drops. Somehow you're manipulating yourself into continuing to think that your lifespan is going to be reminiscent of very trying, torture-esque, very difficult life experiences, but that is not the truth or the way forward. You can continue to manifest pain and suffering for yourself by continuing to choose to pull in these records of misery. And identify that life is meant to be hard. That is part of the record that is playing here, that life is meant to be hard for you, but that's not the truth. Life is actually not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be trying. It's not meant to be full of pain and suffering. It's meant to be full of love. I see this little girl, this soul fragment, this part of your consciousness hanging out in this space and calling it home. This is the artificial intelligence, aka the harmony of the world, society, manifesting this belief system within you. How do you override it? You choose to conquer yourself. You choose to conquer your mind. You choose to conquer ego. You choose to conquer the melody of society that everybody also is hypnotically under a spell of not choosing to self-realize. But you are choosing to self-realize, aren't you? You are absolutely choosing that. They are not allowing me to access your true energy field. They're not allowing me to access your truth. Because you yourself are not choosing to access your truth either. I'm asking this girl if she would like to see a space of love and healing and beauty. A space that is a true reflection of who and what she is. This is not her reflection in the mirror. This space is not her value or her truth. This space is sad. This space is in pain. This space is wounded. And you, my friend, are not sad or in pain or wounded. You, my friend, are bright and beautiful and full of love and light and a gift to this world. Isn't that who you are? The girl does not seem to hear me. She walks towards more the space. Where are you going to walk to? It's just like an infinite basement that's damp and dusky. There's a terrible energy noise here. It's a low hum. It feels poisoned here. There's like an acidic energy of negativity here and a water drop. It's like sewage or something. She is pale. Her clothes are dirty and sort of tattered. She walks through sort of puddles and a dusky sort of basement atmosphere. Her hair hasn't been brushed in a very long time. She opens a door and shows me a closet full of what is rotted out eels, is what it looks like, and old nasty seaweed. It's stuffed full of it. She asks me to go in there. I say we will go in there together because this is time for you to face your own music. She says no. She doesn't even say no. She just shakes her head and points. I'm trying to figure out, how am I supposed to go in there? It's stuffed full of stuff. I mean, how am I supposed to even fit in there? Nothing can fit in there. Even the stuff that's in here can't even fit in there. It's amazing that the door didn't break and burst open. There's so much crap in here. She says this is in my brain. She says this is in my head. She asked me to remove it. She speaks no language. She just psychically tells me this. The more we talk, the more the black layers start to turn to white. She's kind of afraid too sometimes. She feels that if she heals herself, something scary might happen and put evil in the place that she heals. So she might not ever actually free herself because evil is always there. So when she wants to heal, she's afraid she's going to get really loud and that evil will hear her and then will harm her. What is evil afraid of, little one? Evil is afraid of you healing. Isn't evil afraid of you healing? If evil is watching you heal and now evil is so afraid of you healing that evil has to do something, has to come up with some solution to make sure that you are infested with some more puke world. You know what evil is afraid of? It's afraid of love. Evil is afraid of you being love. You being your voice. Your song, your harmony is very loud. In fact, it could break eardrums. And the reality of your spiritual atmosphere, it won't even make a sound because it is afraid of being heard. So spirits, souls, do they have a voice box? Or are they just energy? So really profound souls can communicate by just blasting out their energy, and it can be like, ah, like super loud, but on a super harmonizing level. It's all different sounds. And your sound is very loud, and it would get a lot of attention across the globe and in the universe. And you're terrified of what might be out there that would see you. You don't want them to see you because you're afraid of what they might do to you. You don't say this to me at all. You button the lip and you're only speaking to me psychically as the quietest manner that you could ever talk to me because you're actually really afraid of what out there is going to do to you if you do what you're meant to do, if you are yourself. Should I be afraid? Because I know what love is capable of. And I know that they're absolutely terrified of love. You have been manipulated extremely badly into thinking that there is a fleet of evil energy that is watching you all the time, because deep down in your heart you know you have a special purpose, and you're afraid that what those energies are going to do to you if you start to be that which you are. You're absolutely terrified of it. You feel like you could be abducted. You could, secret government could be walking through the astral layers and then take you and do terrible mind control nightmares to you. You're afraid that alien beings are going to come out of the atmosphere and do terrible, awful things to you, torture you. It's on a severe level of fear. I'm telling you again, why are you afraid of dying? Why are you afraid of everybody else's fears of you? How are you ever going to conquer anything if you're going to ingest everybody else's fears of you? You want to know why they would torture you? You want to know why they would abduct you? Because they're afraid of you. In this way, in your spiritual atmosphere, you are so full of conspiracy theory terrors That is now your truth. That is the broken record. That is what defines you. That is, you're full of fear. You're full of conspiracy theory related bullshit. Conspiracy theory is another version of the Bible, telling you that hell is real, or what. I mean, whatever you want to identify it as. Christian movement, telling you to be very, very afraid of dying. Unless you do this, that, and the other thing, then you might be okay. But we don't know for sure. Just be a good person. I mean, how many fucked up people were telling you to be a good person when they were the ones that were entirely egotistically sick and twisted, manifesting wars with children, all kinds of gross stuff. Let's support that movement. This again is very much on the same level. Conspiracy theory related garbage is on the same level. It's implanting terror into souls, infinite souls, powerful souls, ensuring that they won't become themselves because it is afraid of you. It's actually afraid of you. It's afraid of you. Why are you then choosing to be afraid of it? It's afraid of you. It's so afraid of you that it really doesn't want you to figure out how beautiful you are, how much love you are, how powerful you are. It is absolutely afraid of you. Are you ready to face your fear yet? Are you ready to discover that you need to open up and be loud and be proud? You know how many beautiful movements have manifested across this globe, and it has been supported by love, and no evil doer has come out and tried to torture beautiful manifested movements. For instance, Julia Butterfly, saved the forest. I didn't see any alien beings trying to implant crap into her, government officials. I saw her on the top of a tree working with Mother Earth to save the forest. And yes, there was quite a huge backlash. This was a terrible thing, that a human being would say no to a movement of cutting down ancient trees. But I did not see any of this torture, conspiracy related bullcrap. That is what you have in your spiritual atmosphere. That is what you are insisting is the truth about the reality, a truth about our world, the truth about the earth, the truth about the human race. That is what you are identifying as your truth. That is your truth. You want to live with that truth? Or are you ready to face that truth as not the truth about you? You see, if you would have gone to some other psychic, had this removed, they would have just told you they removed it and you never would have discovered any of this about yourself. You would never have discovered any of this. That's why I'm very sensitive about subjects like these, because I, as a shamanic healer, can see quite a lot and I feel quite a lot, and I have never come across any types of what is being said out there. What I do come across are musical sounds and notes that inspire people to identify themselves in all different manners of fear. So this fear is what is very loud in your spiritual atmosphere. This is what your spiritual atmosphere is blasting out into the universe, telling every alien being and the governmental official and all the souls in the universe can hear you. You can call yourself quiet, but you know how they communicate is through psychic communication as well. All the souls do. So stop doing this. Hello. You are quite loud. Even if you try to be as soft and quiet as a mouse, you are totally loud and heard. And your fear is the one that is echoing out, and they can hear how afraid you are, and they are very proud of themselves for making you so scared. Because they're afraid of you. And I'll be honest with you, there's nobody watching you. It's an illusion. There's love that is constantly surrounding you. There's love that is constantly balancing and rebalancing you. There's love constantly trying to feed in fingerlings of energy to help you move past this. This is definitely a reflection of an incarnate journey, of a lot of pain and suffering along the way. And now you're at sort of the end of the road and you still feel all of the memories. And you have real, honest, soul based reasons to be afraid because you've been tortured, you have been abducted, you have had really scary run ins with governmental regimes, at different times. Like, what was a government truly in the medieval days? I mean, it was the king and the king's men, and or it was the church. You know what I mean? That was hardcore. That was very hardcore and scary because they were ripping people's arms and legs off of their body with 4 horses. That's freaking scary, and putting people's heads on spikes and doing all kinds of sick things, pulling people's fingernails out and cutting their tongues out of their faces and gouging their eyeballs out, using instruments that are rusty and old, and screams echoing across dungeons. That is scary. That is terrifying. So yes, your soul knows about these things, and your soul is afraid of having to go through that again because it was upsetting, it was painful, it was traumatizing, it was scary. It hurt. It's not the way forward. How do you ensure a human race maintains a level of terror? You ensure that those incarnate journeys were terrifying. You manifest the medieval days, and now those souls bury the burden of those nightmare lifetimes, and they continue to carry that baggage through incarnation upon incarnation upon incarnation. And now here we are at the grand finale, and we have souls that are absolutely battered and beaten and bloodied up and bruised and exhausted and tired, and they just want to die and go to their home planets already. Just get me out of here. I'm sick of reincarnating in the Matrix. Well, guess what? You can't get out of here until you choose to do what you came here to do, which is save the human race. Who, despite whatever force is in your way, it's an illusion because love is the force that is here now. Did you know that? Did you know that love's got your back? Love is creating huge support systems. Love is manifesting huge opportunities for people to come together, start working together, and start feeling arm in arm in a safety net of loving individuals, spiritual healers, manifestors of change. Let's just talk about Reiki, for instance. At one time, Reiki was only accessible for a $10,000 price, and now there are super beautiful, loving souls, I am one of them, that offer free attunements to Reiki. We're changing the world. Hello. We really are changing the world. We are changing the world each and every day. We have to choose to see that love is the force. Love is the force. Now you step into the love force, and now love is the only thing that is real. There is no such thing. This conspiracy theory stuff, it needs to be removed from YouTube because it's as annoying and as manipulative as the daily news. Teaching us, telling us how terrible it is all across the globe and how miserable people are and how nobody gives a shit about anybody. And now let's throw in conspiracy theories talking about all kinds of sick and twisted things going on. Where all we look at is negative, 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 negative. And what does negative manifest? It manifests the harmonies of the puke infestment basement world with the drops, and then the sick eels and the seaweed coming out of your brain, telling you that you should be afraid. Everything says you should be afraid. That's why you turn it all off, and now you start to live in a happy world where there's lollipops and gumdrops and awesome little dwarves and fairy people and angels and beautiful loving alien beings who are glowing and so here to support you. And now the force of darkness has no power because your light is so freaking bright it's blinding their eyeballs out. They're fucking scared of you waking up and being light and love. They're terrified of you. So stop being afraid. Wake up to who and what you are. That's what Spirit says. You're super awesome. But I'm not allowed to say that to you. You have to say that to you. You have to say that to you. Because if you don't say that to you, then you're not awesome. If you say, I am awesome, now you are awesome. Because you're defining that which you are, which is awesome, right? I'm sorry to be this like super hard ass, but I mean, Spirit is wanting me to be very direct with you because you can handle it, because you're a super powerhouse soul who needs a little tough talk. And Spirit is ready to tough talk you into a place of higher understanding about yourself. So this here is what you say, that this is your reality, and Spirit is like, not your reality, but it's going to stay your reality until you choose to identify yourself as love. Do you identify yourself yet as love? Or are you going to continue to insist that you're infested with all this crazy nightmare and you got to be quiet and yada, yada, yada? Are you ready to just acknowledge you are love? And that love is the powerful force. And that love is the force that heals all things. And that love is more powerful than any other force out there in the universe. Destruction lasts 10 ans. How long does a tornado last? How long does a hurricane last? How long does a forest fire last? How long does human race and suppression last? But how long is life last for? Creative energy. How long will growth be taking place on planets across the cosmoses, universes, parallel times and places and dimensions and all kinds of consciousnesses? Every single snowflake is a consciousness of its own kind, is a reflection of pure and infinite love. Every snowflake, every grass blade is a consciousness of pure and infinite love. Destruction is an illusion. Chaos is an illusion. And what is chaos afraid of? It's afraid of facing love, because the moment it faces love, now it is extinguished, infinitely extinguished. Chaos can only maneuver, can only work, can only be so infinite as its own self-illusion will maintain its infinite reflection. So human race could be infinitely screwed if we choose to never wake up to love, but that's not what's going to happen. We all know human beings are waking up to love already. Human beings are, and you are as well. You are one of these human beings waking up to love. And those of you watching this video, you are also one of these human beings waking up to love. Yes, you are. We are all waking up to love. Even I am still waking up to love. I know quite a lot on my journey. I've learned quite a lot, but I am still learning. One day I will be manifesting miracles. How come I'm not manifesting miracles yet? Because I'm still waking up to love more and more and more, infinitely. Waking up to a higher consciousness of love. Waking up to who and what I truly am. Waking up my energy field. I'm still working on waking myself up. And I will be working on waking myself up for the rest of this life. I'll be working on waking myself up for millions of lifetimes. It's learning. It's called learning and discovering what love is from all different perspectives. So that's what this is about. You have to start acknowledging that this is not your truth, that this is not the vein of wisdom that defines you. This is sort of an energetic, you're sort of twisted up in some really painful lifetimes, and you feel as though that you are still, there still has to be a reason for suffering. This lifetime must be a manifestation of pain and suffering. That's kind of, you're still kind of feeling like afraid from lifetimes where they're terrifying. You're afraid that it's going to be terrifying again. So while you want to wake up, while you want this done, you don't want to actually acknowledge your true power. Because if you acknowledge your true power, you might be too loud and something scary could burn you on the stake. Rip your arms and legs off with the horses, gouge your eyeballs out, have control over you in this way. Now you become the insect in a child's dish. Now you become dissected. It's scary, but you can't live by fears, or you're never going to be anything but afraid. Is that all you want to say you accomplished in this life, was being afraid? Or do you want to say, I faced my fears and I became that which I am, which is love and power and light and healing? You're beautiful. She is feeling a lot better after this conversation. Young girl is starting to have a self-discovery. She's starting to have recollections about things. She's starting to acknowledge that this is not actually her home, and that this basement with a garbage infested closet that is attached to your brain, she was pulling that wisdom from somewhere else, so therefore she was manifesting the idea that you had an infestation in your head, but you don't. You were manipulated into believing that you did. Shall I heal this manipulative space, or shall we go into the space of truth and now align you with what you truly are, what your head truly looks like? Your heart even is like, well, can you just clean that out of there, because I just want to make sure. So you're acknowledging then that the manipulation is the truth. And just in case that the manipulation is true, let's just clean the manipulation out, that kind of place, just to make sure. So you actually are continuing to say that this is the truth about you, that this is actually what's in your head. You have to say no to that. I will not clean this out because it's an illusion. I will not clean out illusions. This is not actually a real space. This is your fear-based space. This is your fear. The only way to get out of your fear is to acknowledge that the fear was not actually real, that it was manifested. This is not going well with you. Your energy field is not liking that I'm speaking this. Your energy field says, you're a healer. You need to heal me right now. Like, I'm not going to heal a fake space. This space is a fake space. This space actually isn't a real space because it is based on your fear. You're telling me that this is a real space because you believe that this is a real thing. This isn't a real thing. This is a fake space. Don't you want to know what the real space looks like? And then I can manifest that energy into your head. So now you're actually aligned with the truth of your head, the true energy reflection of your head. You're mad at me. You hate me for this. You hate me for telling you that this was all a fake. This was a fake reality. You're insisting that this is real, that this is a real reality. And I need to take this seriously. There's so many other people out there who talk about this stuff all the time, and you're telling me that is a fake thing and my head is full of garbage, but it was all just a fake thing. I can tell what is an illusionary space, a mind manipulated space. You have to understand here, the programming is still there because you're still attached to this as the truth. You're still attached to this as the truth. And I can't heal your manipulation unless you acknowledge that it's not the truth. So I can only heal the manipulation, your broken record, your self-manipulation, when you acknowledge that this is not the truth about you. So you have to choose to let go and say, okay, this is not my truth. My head is not full of seaweed and crap. You are doing that. You are actually giving it a try, which you should be. Boy, this is a tough talk session. I love you and care about you. Please understand. Sometimes spirit just makes me talk tough. But I can't. This is the truth here. And you are actually saying, okay. They show me that in that space where you were believing in a reality of manipulation, your head was filling, you had manifest your head as sort of like a garbage truck. So it has a weird open thing. And so it was filling with garbage and crap and stuff. and that was so full that it felt like your head was full of crap, and you just needed somebody to open the door and let all the crap out, as though the mind manipulation or alien implants or artificial intelligence was all stuffed in your head, but you had actually manifested that yourself, because you were feeding off of wisdom that wasn't honest with you, because you weren't choosing to acknowledge that you are love and discover the power of love by just being love, being yourself. You don't really know what to make of this. You don't really know what to do if this is the truth. How are you supposed to I mean, what are you supposed to do if it was all just you manipulating yourself? Like, what are you supposed to do from here? Like, celebrate? Love? Be happy? Sing songs? Dance? Feel free? Do not. And I think you really need to take a massive break from any I don't know if you're watching conspiracy related and wisdom, or you're really reading up on a lot of spiritual stuff, and it's you're tuning it into the fears that are in your spiritual atmosphere from past lives. So you're actually connecting, you're manifesting sources of wisdom that are feeding into the truth that that it's a hell on earth. The truth that it's a torture town, the truth that it's a terrifying world. You're trying to find wisdom that that agrees with your spiritual atmosphere that has endured lifetimes of torture, and now you are using that as the true wisdom. A lot of people are using that as the true wisdom because a lot of souls that have incarnated here have not had a fun time. So we're looking for more lie-based wisdom to help us feed the spiritual atmosphere that hasn't actually been purified or healed from all these incarnations. That's why a lot of people would argue with me that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I'm not seeing things correctly, because they themselves are afraid of what it could mean if they too need to just feel love within their spiritual atmosphere, purifying these lifetimes of pain and suffering. And now they have to take the difficult journey of discovering who and what they are, discovering themselves, discovering their power. And it's a vulnerable freaking journey. And an ego will get in the way left and right, but you override ego by saying, I do not care what people think about me. I do not care about what people have to say. I do not care about other people's egos. I will say as Spirit guides me to say, and the wisdom I share is here to transform the reality of mankind, here to enhance, upgrade the consciousness of the human race so that we can truly ascend to the next level. We can't actually ascend if we're all here saying, well, I've been here for too long and I'm ready to get out of the matrix and go to the next lifetime. You're never going to get out of the matrix. You will never get out of the matrix by saying, I just want out. You will get out of the matrix by saying, okay, I'm going to face this matrix. I'm going to face myself and I'm going to do what I came here to do. And I am tired and I'm beaten and I'm bruised and I've been here for too long and I am sick of this world. But the only way this world is going to change if people start to wake up and start to acknowledge they are the love, they are the power, and then to be that for everybody else, because everybody else needs more reflections of love. The more we see misery and suffering advertised, broadcast, commercialized on the news, all over the place, everywhere, and on YouTube, conspiracy-related fear-based tactics, and now all these poison-minded speakers talking about implants as the explanation for everything. This is a fear-based world. How do you get out of a fear-based world? You choose love. You be love. You are love. You identify with love. And now you be love so other people can discover that they are love too. And there's nothing else that is preventing them from being love. They just have to be love. They just have to face themselves in the mirror and see how beautiful in love they are. And allow the rest of the world to just be whatever it is. But when you choose to be love, the rest of the world starts to notice there's something different about you, something sparkling about you. And it's hungry for love. It's not hungry for more manipulations. It's actually just starving for a world that is a reflection of love. How will the world ever be a reflection of love if we keep biting our teeth into more fear-based reasons for everything? It's just like war, it's just like starvation, it's just like poverty, it's just like egotistical people, it's just like all this stuff we've seen on over and over and over and over again, lifetime after lifetime, more suffering, more pain, more misery. The only way to stop it, we're a global community now. We're not small towns. We have the internet. We have connected ways to create the earth grid of love. We can do it now because there's enough people on the planet that we can actually ascend. Any type of nuclear meltdown or the reset is actually not going to help us ascend. The nuclear reset or whatever I've been hearing is not helping us ascend. We actually need all the 8 billion people on the planet right now because we need the earth grid. We need all the people on the planet right now in order to actually ascend. And we do that by manifesting implants of love. Manifesting conversations of love, manifesting the truth that love is all there is, was, and ever will be. The little birdie that all we see is about love, and that's all we know is about love. And now the earth grid can manifest true love. And you are a part of this earth grid. You're a part of this earth grid when you are ready to say, I'm not going to choose a manipulative pathway anymore. I'm going to be discerning only love-based wisdom that speaks about loving alien beings, speaks lovingly about human ascension, shares very loving messages from archangels, from God, from Jesus, from heaven, shares only love-based messages. All human beings should only be feeding off of love-based messages. When human beings are feeding, we actually eat energy. We eat energy. We don't just eat food, we eat energy. So we feel pain and suffering when somebody doesn't like us. We get hurt inside. So we're actually ingesting their energy of hatred towards us. We don't have to ingest that. You can just say, you only hate me because you hate yourself. And that's for you. That is not for me. So your energy, you can just eat your own energy because that is not for me. Or you can just start approaching them and sharing love with them, pushing love into their heart and not moving, choosing to face them with love and help them face themselves, face their own fears, that somebody with love actually is going to stand up to those bullies and say, you are love. You are love. Don't you remember you are love? I know that you just need a hug, and that is the reason why you don't know how to respond to me. That is the reason why you hate me, because you don't know how to accept some things about the world or about yourself or about your life, or, problems when you were growing up as a child and the world just wasn't right for you, and nobody actually seemed to care about your true needs inside. This is how we face the bullies of the world, as we choose to step towards them and continue to support them in love and remind them they are reflections of love. Do you see what I mean here? You see what I mean here? You are one of these. Julian, you are one of these. You are one of these. Am I manipulating you? Maybe you're not one of these. Maybe I should stop brainwashing you. Oh, shoot. Maybe I brainwashed you into actually thinking you were love, actually thinking that you were a beautiful, infinite soul, actually thinking you had the power. Maybe you don't. Maybe you need to go back to your grim basement, head infested full of crap. Maybe that's the truth. I think you know in your heart now what we're talking about, Julian. I think you're getting it. I actually feel how much you are getting it. They get it. Whoever drives that car, they get it. All right. You are a beautiful soul. You are a beautiful bright light. You are so beautiful and bright in your light that you're even vulnerable about yourself. You're even afraid of your own light. You're afraid of what your light can do for this world. You're superb. You are beautiful. You are amazing. Choose only reflections of love. Choose only wisdom that is love. wisdom that is love helps you feel warm inside, helps you feel the hug and the support of mankind, helps you to see that there really are people in this world that are changing the world, inspiring the world to change with inventions, with spiritual gifts, Reiki for free Reiki attunements. I mean, everybody has an opportunity to participate. Everybody does. And you are ready to participate on the love bandwagon. You are so beautiful. Your soul has, how do I put this in words? You chose to give your soul as a gift. Your soul endured very traumatizing lifetimes as a gift to the one consciousness, as a gift to the totality, because your soul is strong enough to endure those painful experiences. Your soul is strong enough. Now you're in a lifetime where the human race is really enduring a transformation, and a lot of us feel tired and we feel suppressed and we're confused, and we are trying to make sense of it all. And in the process of trying to make sense of it all, you're still the soul, you're still the infinite soul, you still have the infinite memories, and the infinite memories are making you feel like it's a scary world out there, making you feel like there is a higher explanation, there is a manipulative explanation, and I'm going to overcome that manipulation by getting rid of the manipulation itself. But the manipulation you need to get rid of is the manipulation in your own head, that you are manipulated. Do you see what the implant is? It's your own choice to say, I am manipulated. Don't say, I am manipulated. Please never, ever say, I am manipulated. I am being manipulated by alien races. I am being manipulated by mind control devices. I am being manipulated by this. Now you are defining that which you are, which is manipulated. Do not say that. When you say, please remove artificial intelligence from my head, that is saying, I am being manipulated. Please remove the manipulation. I have to remove you. The manipulation is you. How many human beings are self-manipulated? Because we're obsessed with negativity. So we have to remove the human race in order to remove manipulation. Or maybe we just need to manipulate the human race into realizing they are love. Brainwash the human race with love, loving videos, loving messages, loving newscasts, loving conspiracy theories, alien beings implanting the human race with love beacons. You're full of love beacons. Would you like me to implant your brain with a love beacon? I can do that for you. I'm going to implant love in your heart. I'm going to expand your heart portal. I'm going to put love implants into your eyes so you can only see love all over the place. This is not you choosing to, be in a fairy town and not seeing the world, you're seeing the rose with rose-colored glasses. This is actually you just choosing to see the only thing that is real, the only thing of value is love. And that is the only thing I choose to see and acknowledge is real in my reality is love. And now you'll start to see love all over the place. Love in the most unsuspecting ways. And you'll start to see how human beings are feeling hurt inside and they're wounded and they need to feel loved. And now you can be that love for them and help them now to be that love for others. We have to start supporting each other with love. You are a beautiful soul. I can't wait to see how you transition from this because I've altered your programming. I've altered your subconscious mind programming. Those watching this video, I've altered your subconscious mind programming as well. If you allow yourself to say, to explore, to feel, to breathe in the reality that you are love, then you are breathing in this truth and you are going to expand and develop in huge, extraordinary ways. Spirit is asking if you're ready to let go of the space now. To the little girl. I tell her you have to start speaking. You have to tell me I am love. Instead of saying that, she starts to sing a song. When she sings a song, she creates extreme warmth inside her heart. She fills the space with warmth and love too. She sings a song that asks God and angels to help transcend her into a higher level where she can see the reflection of love in her own eyes. She keeps singing and asking God to fill her with love, fill her life with love, help her to step into the truth that she is love, and love is all there is, was, and ever will be. Help me remove this energy of manipulation that I have succumbed to. I do not choose to succumb to manipulation anymore. I choose to be love, and all there is, ever will be, is love. I am love. She's singing openly from her vocal box, from her mouth, from her speech center, from her communication center. And as she sings, she opens her heart up, and she is sort of levitating upward. God, Mother, Father, God, infinite universe, the totality, all that is, was, and ever will be, as male, female, gender, I see sort of transcending, moving upward into the infinite atmosphere of love. You are so far gone. You actually are letting go of your identity. You actually are not choosing to, the inner child within you is not choosing to return to your form, because your form has to be reborn. It has to be restructured energetically. It has to be recreated, an entirely new blueprint of a reflection. You are asking heaven to create a new identity for you. It's like an energy upgrade, DNA activation. It's like a super enhancement. That way, when this inner child returns to your newly created identity, your new reflection, you are actually going to feel the transition. You're going to be working with new energies, new assignments, new gifts. You're seeing with new eyes. You have been reborn above the manipulation energy, the manipulative layer. The frequency of manipulation. You have been reborn above the frequency of manipulation. That way you can digest higher wisdom of true love, love wisdom. You are releasing out some sort of, still real, it's attuned to sort of old belief systems. Literally, I see a version of your body being lifted up above that basement space. It's still being lifted up. It's a new energetic design, so it isn't fully manifested yet. But as it's sort of integrating into you, I see you lifting up into more and more light. And I see little energy workers, like trillions of them, like little insects or something, like all over your like energy that is being lifted up, your energy body. You released a huge patch of pent-up, like entirely your emotional, like your gut, beneath all of the guts, beneath the like the lungs and down, just plopped out. The arms are being removed, the chest region, the head, everything is being redesigned. All that is physical is just dropping and falling away. You're entirely an energy, totally a light body energy right now. So there's two versions of you, okay? There's a child version that is with heaven right now. There's another version of you that looks like a person. It looks like a woman with a butched haircut. And she's asleep. And she's got sort of a physical body. She's being lifted upward. And there's like all these sort of eating things. And her skin's got kind of a grayish green color. And so she's being lifted up, and then sort of she's falling apart as she's lifting up. And so now I'm seeing her totally as like an energy reflection. I didn't know she was an energy before until they started showing me her falling apart. Removing more congestions, even in her light body. Bringing her up above even another layer. It's sort of like a liquid layer. Bringing her up above that. There's another one too. This is interesting. We're raising your frequency. They're showing me radio waves that you're tuned into. Your radio wave was like really radio waving in with puke wisdom, and now you're sort of moving up the radio waves to more and more love-based wisdom, higher versions of love-based wisdom. It's almost overwhelming. You're not used to the frequencies, and you're saying it feels like electrocution in your head. I am quickly softening the experience so it's not as loud. It's not as overwhelming, is basically what it is. You're overwhelmed here because you're moving up really fast. You're letting go of a lot of fears. You're crying tears of blood. You're recalling, the soul is recalling all types of painful memories as it continues to transcend layers of frequency. It again sheds another density I didn't even know was there. It's continuing to shed densities, allowing you to feel as a total light body. You are continuing to shed densities, more and more layers. It's like you're in a painful, traumatizing experience, because the more you endure the recall of painful past lives, you're sort of screaming in tears of blood. But the more you go through it, you release all of this stuff. You're facing the memories, and you need to. And you're going up higher frequency vibrations. It's going to get a lot easier here very soon. I already can feel it. You are so high up, you completely disappeared, and now I see you reborn in the eyes of a child in heaven. The child is developing, is an aging or maturing, let's say. She is choosing to be in a rest state in heaven, and as she matures, she asks heaven to allow her to be an identity of pure love, but self-awareness of the power within. They want you to explore childlike joy, your innocence, your laughter, your unconditional love, your sweet side, your radiant sweet side, your childlike side. The child shows me she is inside the heart of this now mature woman. The woman is asleep in a bed in heaven. Spirit shows me how far you were down in the cesspool of manipulation. There's still higher levels that we can go, but for right now, Spirit would like us to stop here so you can adjust to this frequency. You've already been through quite enough. We can continue to raise your frequency, with more sessions, so to speak. But right now, I mean, this is a huge energetic gift, a huge shift. You are totally not there anymore. Any idea of what of crap in the head is totally vanished, doesn't even exist, not even a truth, doesn't even have a purpose or a place. Now, why don't you think about going to a psychic who can remove implants? I'm going to tell you, it's going to feel like a puke-infested barf idea. They themselves are still manipulated. They themselves are still in the frequency, the energetic frequency of Puke Town, insisting that there are implants and such. I have already reprogrammed you, so now any idea of getting an implant removal or anything of that kind, you are going to feel like, yeah, that's definitely not for me. I feel love. I feel I am love. I feel love all around me, and I know love is the only truth. And I'm gonna start working with love as my first assignment. My first assignment from heaven, from my alien friends, from my spirit guides, from love itself, is to start acknowledging, to start seeing, to start inhaling, to start breathing, to start exploring love as the only truth. You feel incredible. You feel freaking incredible. You're totally refreshed. You're totally on an amazing level. So, I want to tell you something, Julian. When you requested to have this artificial intelligence removed from the head, I take every request seriously. So when people tell me stuff like this, that tells me that yes, they do actually have that going on. But sometimes what is the frequency level of what they are requesting? For you, you are way beyond that league of belief system. You are way out of that ballpark. So for me, I was able to experience that this is not the truth for you, and that's the way it is for everybody. So if I do implant removals and stuff, really what I'm doing is altering their programming. I'm altering the frequency of their programming, so I'm switching their radio stations from manipulation stations to love stations. And then I'm rebirthing the expression into a higher plane of existence. You're so in awesome town right now. So that's all I can do. I am so freaking honored. I am so thankful. I am so glad you connected with me. I am so happy to be working with you. And I really hope that you're not offended or anything by the tough talk and stuff, but your soul is too amazing. The spirit needed you to be tough talked to. It would be like Jesus saying that I've got a mind control device in my head. No, Jesus, you don't. You are such a beautiful consciousness. I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate you saying that. Spirit can't tolerate you saying that either. And seeing your rebirth reflection in this higher level of frequency is such a better place for you. Oh my gosh, is it a better place for you? And there's so much higher we can go when you're ready. So start really inhaling the truth about love, that you are love and you're reborn, and all those past lives, all the trauma, all the pain and suffering isn't the truth. You're not carrying that baggage into this lifetime anymore. The line has been drawn in the sand, and moving forward, you are reprogrammed with love. You have a new energetic identity, and you're in a totally new refreshed balance, ready for the next assignment. The assignment is now you're going to start doing what you came here to do. You are going to start learning about love, working with love, being expression of love, and speaking about love, because you're here to transform the stations, the human stations that everybody's tuning into manipulation. You're changing the station so people start to be tuned into love. Now you can express the love energy, the vibration of love that is unique to your specific soul. So we all get to rejoice now in your vibration of love. No other vibration is going to be my vibration. My vibration is going to be my vibration. And I need your vibration to be your vibration, speaking about love in your unique way. But it's going to come from a much higher level. And I feel that there is even higher we can go from here. I just rescued you from the cesspool. So now we're working with this much, 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 much higher frequency wave. But there's still so much higher we can go when you're ready for that. So start working with this new love energy, and then we can see how much higher we can go from there. So that's all I can say for this. Julian, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for working with me. For those of you watching, if you would like me to do a removal of implants of any kind, removal of implants is really reprogramming the consciousness. I can reprogram your consciousness. You can speak to me in any language, any words that you feel fit to identify what you are going through. And then I can go into your spiritual atmosphere, see what the balance of energy is there, see what the meaning is behind it, and then do the energy reprogramming work to help rebirth your soul in a higher vibrational frequency as well. So that's what I'm here for. If you're interested in working with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.